So the primary point of Equity Trainer is to simulate common poker situations using repetitive drills so they begin to intuitively understand what your approximate equity is in any given situation. You also get much better at understanding hand ranges because they'll be shown and demonstrated, and you'll be able to really think and understand and put this together when you're at the table. This was developed because as a coach, I saw that most students had no idea where their equity was and why they should be betting, checking, or raising. So discovered that it's very difficult to really teach and do the math directly at the table. But the mind being the amazing thing that it is, if you use and simulate common situations over and over, you begin to put patterns together and understand a lot of common situations, let's say where you know you probably have a 2-outer or a 10-outer or 12-outer, what your opponent's hand range is and about where your equity is going to stand against that. And when you know that, the best play becomes extremely clear. So to use Equity Trainer, it's quite simple. You can set the drill type, which you can just focus on pre-flop, flop, turn, or river play. You can switch the table type, six max or full ring, and you can set a number of different quiz style options. And it'll also ask you when you're done, if it's a profitable bluffing situation, how often you need your opponent to fold to make a profitable bluff, which is also very handy to know. So to begin, there's a replayer style format. You can click play, or you can click some of these other ones and manually skip through each of the actions individually. When it gets to the turn, since we're set to just drill on the turn here, it'll stop. It'll give you a set of multiple choices. You can also click the plus here and see your opponent's approximate hand range in the situation, and you'll have to go through and figure out, give your best guess as to what your equity is. It'll tell you if you're right or wrong. And then it'll ask you how often your opponent needs to fold if you say bet about 2/3 of the pot in this situation. So we say 37% and we get that right. So by doing this over and over, we found a number of students have really began to understand, so really open up their eyes about what profitable bluffing situations are, um, when they should be betting versus checking, when their opponent's range is really weighted towards total air and they should be looking to check call, and all sorts of these things that make for a very profitable player. With the pre-flop trainer, you'll be put in common poker situations and in a quiz style format asked what the best play is. You'll have multiple choice here to select your answer. It all starts with pre-flop play. If you don't have a good solid pre-flop strategy and you don't understand what are the highest EV plays in any given situation, you could potentially lose your whole stack in no limit, at least post-flop. Limit's a little more forgiving. You can make some mistakes and a lot of plays are a lot closer. But especially in no limit, any mistake that you make pre-flop could be huge mistake post-flop. So it's very important that you get this part of your game down. So as you can see, it'll put you in a situation. You'll have a multiple choice answer here, and I'll click fold, and then you can click deal, go to the next situation. Sometimes there'll be more than one correct answer to a hand. And then when you're done, it'll save your results. You can view past results and see how your game's progressing or not progressing, which hopefully isn't the case. And there's multiple different settings. You can switch between no limit and limit. Um, the kind of table texture, whether it's a typical, meaning most average tables that you'd see where there's decent regulars, a very loose aggressive table, tight passive table, because those things will change your pre-flop strategy. And then you can set up the number of quiz questions, and you can also make it automatically deal for you or not.